Welcome back, guys. On this week's show, times are tough now, so tough that we have no more staples. Also, what it really means to snap, or what it takes to make a snap. And why are you such a pussy? And all aboard the sex plane. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live. How are you? How are things? Over my far right hand side is IT Dan.
Yes, great to be here.
We are broadcasting from the COVIDSapien.com studios. We broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. Now, Dan, I have been having some sleep problems. Now, you just bought a purple mattress. How's that? Is it still going for you? Still working for you?
It's really good. The one thing I found, I sleep so soundly. I'll sleep for about 5 or 6 hours, and then I wake up. And I think I've got because I'm sleeping so soundly, I don't need that much sleep.
So instead of 8 hours of shitty on and off sleep, you're getting 5 hours of nice sound sleep, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready for the day. I'm up, and maybe you should go to bed later. Are you doing anything different?
I'm drinking a glass of wine before I go to bed.
Half a glass?
No, a glass.
And what kind of wine do you use?
Oh, the real expensive, the stuff from Aldi's. Winking Owl.
Waking owl or wicking owl?
Winking owl.
Oh, like winking, like one eye wink.
Yes.
Gotcha. Well, Dan, for the last couple nights, I've had some problems with, I have this weird fear. I don't know where it started. It's been happening for the last, I think, couple months now, that as I go to sleep, I think I'm going to die. And I jumpstart my, you ever had those sleep wakes?
Yeah, I have
sleep
had
jumps?
those.
Now, the main thing behind that, the reason why your body jumps is your brain thinks your body's dead. And what it does is it sends this electrical charge through your body, and then all of a sudden you do this like crazy jump. Or like in school, your arm will flare up or something like that. But right here on my neck, I get this almost like right here where my esophagus would be. I get this little sharp pain, and my whole entire neck right here goes like this.
Yeah, my uncle died from that.
No, he did. Did he really?
No.
Oh, God. So I'm like, well, what causes this? And so I looked it up, and what is this word right here? This is a big old long fancy word.
This is cricopharyngeal spasms.
It's spasms, I guess they mispronounced it. It occurs when the semipharyngeal muscle located in the front of the throat contracts too much. Though this condition is usually considered harmless, it can still cause uncomfortable symptoms such as feeling like someone's sticking you in the throat. And that's what it feels like. It feels like someone took a pen and shot me right here, and it wakes me up. And I'm like, and then of course when you wake up, what happens? You panic, your heart's racing a million miles a minute.
And then you can't get back to sleep.
And you feel like you're dying. So I've been dealing with this, and if you guys out there, if you ever dealt with this, hit us up. Go over to profitradio.com, click on Be Heard, leave a little message, and it comes right here to the studio, and we'll play it on the very next show.
It's a good thing you don't need your throat for your line of work or anything.
Well, I don't know if you know this or not, Dan. I don't share this with too many people, but I've contracted, or I don't know if contracted is the right word, developed Bell's palsy. Do you know what Bell's palsy is?
I've heard of it, but I'm not familiar with it.
So cerebral palsy is the muscles and the way your body aches and all that stuff. Bell's palsy, there's a nerve that runs from back behind your ear right up underneath your cheekbone into like the top of your mouth, okay? And that nerve makes you smile, or makes you, it helps your muscles. I think it was in 2003, I woke up and it looked like I had a stroke. My whole entire face slides off. Now, for the most part, I've recovered about 85% of motion. So if you look at me, like even watching me right now talk, you can see that this side of my mouth doesn't open all the way than my left side. And what another thing that happens is this eye doesn't blink. I sound like a freaking mutant. Yeah. This eye doesn't blink as much as the other eye. So what happens is this eye tears a lot. So I'm constantly, I'm always wiping it. So I don't know if anyone out there it's nothing deadly. It's a viral disease.
It's not contagious. I don't have to move back a few feet.
Well, they were talking about during the COVID, the beginning of the COVID, that some of the vaccines were giving people Bell's palsy. Now, I'm not vaccinated. Dan's vaccinated. But this is something that I work with. I do work with it on a daily basis to make sure that I don't favor that side of my face.
Are there exercises you can do to strengthen the muscle or something?
Yeah, there is. I mean, you sit here and rub your cheeks and stuff. And It took me a good 2 weeks.
Cheeks on your face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not my butt cheeks. I had someone else massage those for me. But it took me a good 2 weeks to have 60% of my face back. And what happens is half of your tongue is numb also. And to this day, if you were to take my tongue and divide it into 8 strips, there's 2 strips on one side that it's numb. Like if I was to bite it, I wouldn't feel it.
Okay.
So that's why I talk the way I do.
So 3/9 of your tongue is messed up.
Right. It's numb. It's numb at sometimes. And I know I try to maintain a straight face, and you physically have to work on keeping your face so it doesn't look like you're having a stroke. I guess.
I'm honestly, it's something I don't notice when I see
don't
a
notice?
lot. No, I haven't noticed.
See, a lot of people. If you've known me like this forever, you've known me like this forever. I see it in pictures, from pictures from 2003 on when it happened, and then pictures before 2003 where I had a big old nice smile. Like if you look, this side really doesn't smile as much as it. Anyways, I'm not an animal.
Yeah, I get numbness in my right hand. I can feel that. But I think I've got frostbite when I was in Vermont.
Yeah, but frostbite, don't you lose fingers with frostbite?
Yeah, there's different degrees of it.
So you have frostbite.
When it gets cold, on my toes and on my hands. I worked outside when it was 45 below zero. But actually, I got that frostbite when it was around 10 below.
What were you doing outside at 10 below in the first place? Isn't there a weather advisory that says do not go outside? And what does Dan do? He goes outside.
No, that was my work. I drove a propane truck. You fill in propane tanks, and when it's 45 below zero, you'd be surprised. You can't even get your house up. You can turn your heat on as high as you want, and you may get your house to 60, 55, 60 degrees because you're asking your furnace to heat yours. You got to get 45 degrees of heat just to get to zero, and
then climb more from there.
Yeah, and climb from there. You can't. And when you drive, you can hear every wheel bearing in the vehicle. You can hear all these noises you never heard before because it's so cold. Yeah.
It's funny. You said it was so cold. So we broadcast above on our ranch here. We have 22 some odd acres. We have horses and chickens and cattle and dogs and horses and chickens and cattle and dogs and cats now. Yeah. We have a bunch of cats. The reason why I can't sleep at night anymore
because you have some bees.
God almighty. The bees are out. Someone's got a honey hive around here. Dan and I were working on building the deck in between the 2 buildings here, and they were all over my ass. They must. I guess.
I killed 2 of them for you.
Thank you, Dan. There's only 50 more thousand to go. All right, guys. Stick around. For those of you who watch us on live stream, we're going to keep this up through the whole entire show today. We're going to do a full-length show live streaming. We're going to make sure all our new servers and stuff can handle the web flow traffic. So stick around. You'll listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. There you have it.
I did not know that.
What
you were saying about it, I didn't notice at all.
And there was a girl I went to school with, and she just recently got it. And, she posted on Facebook, she's like, I've never wanted to take pictures of myself since my Bell's palsy, but she's like, now I'm brave enough. And she posted herself on Facebook with her, and she could tell the side of her face was low. So I reached out to her. I said, hey, look, I've had this since 2003. I said, I know the feeling. I said, I know the struggle. I said, don't worry, your face will come back. Hopefully, eventually. I mean, some people get it twice. They'll have it on the right side and the left side. What this one year, this the other year. It's a weird thing. And I think what happened was it was viral. And I had a tooth in the back that I never really took care of, and I think it got so bad it clipped that nerve and caused it to.
Well, infections can spread.
Yeah, so that's what happened there. Let me pull the first couple things here. I don't need that. Need that, and then I need this. Who wants to go bye-byes?
I sent you a link to that water project that they're doing. They're putting a water treatment plant in, and they're doing a 21-mile. That pipe is going to go 21 miles through Norwood, through here, and bring water from Lake Tillery, from my house to your house.
Good. You should take that pipe over here instead of driving over here every day. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Come back to 1. You forgot how to work the machine over there?
No, my paper was on top.
Oh, okay. I got to do this read too. You ready?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. We are broadcasting from the COVIDSapien.com studios. Don't blame the Democrats or the Republicans, Trump or Biden. Make sure you blame the actual culprit for this widespread virus. Go to COVIDSapien.com for more information and check them out. They got some free stuff there and some gear you can buy as well. And over to my far right-hand side, my very own COVID sapien is Dan. That's the only way I can figure out how to.
Yes. Yeah.
IT Dan, how are you?
I'd like to say I'm technically a Homo sapien, but I don't describe myself that way.
What were you saying about the? What were you saying just a minute ago?
Well, we're talking about
the water pipeline.
Yeah, they're doing a water pipeline that's coming from Lake Tillery, which I live off of, and they're going right to by Travis's house, maybe a mile down the street from his house.
How far is this pipeline running?
21-mile pipeline, and the pipe is 2-foot diameter, 24-inch diameter pipe.
Just to bring water to my side of town.
Bring water from Lake Tillery, 1 million gallons a day.
I'm telling you, we're getting fancy out here in Marshville. Now, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville, home of Randy Travis.
Yes.
Yeehaw! Saw him the other day. He's not looking too good. And so, as you know, I have horses and chickens and cattle and dogs and all that stuff. We now have 2 new cats, and they've been spayed and tutored. Everything's good. Kitty no nuts now and all that. But you could set your watch by 'em 6 o'clock. As soon as that sun reaches right above the horizon and comes in our bedroom window, the cats know it's time to get up and play. So they jump on the bed and jump off, and they're chasing each other like a racetrack. They're up the bed and off the bed, up the bed and off the bed.
I was reading on the internet they had these new things called shades that you could put over your window so you couldn't tell the sun came up.
Well, I do have the Roman shades, but the problem is now that we have cats, they like to play with the strings and all and the bottom of the shade because it's a full, the double French doors. The shade goes all the way down to the bottom of the door, bottom of the window. So the cats play with it. So now I have all the shades up a foot so the cats can't physically get there. Plus, I lean over from the bed and they're looking out the window like this, watching the birds and stuff.
Oh, that's good entertainment. Why don't you do some TikTok videos?
No. I will, maybe. I did one TikTok video of my refrigerator door opening, and that's the only thing I've done on it so far because I put the little fuzzy bumpers on the...
You must have got a lot of hits on that one.
Yeah, I think I got 500, which is weird. 500 people wanted to look at that. Yeah. But, all right. So, but cats themselves... People say that they're a demon creature. People say, I love cats. People say, fuck cats, I hate them.
People say they taste like chicken. I mean, everybody has something else to say.
But don't freak out right now because cats are actually, of course, one of the smartest animals that are out there. Indoor cats know exactly where you are in the house at any given time. Let's see. Your cat's sitting on your lap, purring in a deep, soothing contentment, and you get up to leave the room. What is your cat thinking right now? So if there is a good chance, he is now spending least amount of mental energy to track the whereabouts you are in the house. So Dan, take this away right here.
Yeah, on some level of consciousness, your cat is mentally mapping your spatial position based on audio clues in the environment, including the sound of your voice, according to a new search. These kind of insights about the whereabouts of others are a form of what's called socio-spatial cognition, in which animals keep mental tabs on the inferred location of other group members, even if they're not visibly present. I almost wonder if dogs do that too. So.
Well, dogs are a different story. They go by smell. So, for example, we have the 2 big fat bulldogs that sleep in the back theater room there, where my wife works. And if I come in the room, they'll pick their head up because there's a new scent in the room, and then they'll put their head back down. But if I leave the room, one of them eventually will follow me after about a good minute and a half because my smell is no longer in that room.
What I always find amazing is when these dogs get lost or something, they get people move and they find their way hundreds of miles back to their own home.
Unbelievable story. Golden Retriever travels across the state of Florida to find out where their owners are.
My brother-in-law lost his German Shepherd in Boston, and he lived in Brockton, which is about 40 miles away. But there's highways, underpass. I mean, it's not...
How did they do it?
And he found their way home.
So in in tests with dozens of domestic cats, both house cats and from cats from cafes and all the other stuff, research in the Kyoto University, did I say that right? Kyoto? Would set up an individual cat in the room where the animal was familiar with. In this room would be placed a wireless Bluetooth speaker, while a different speaker was placed outside the room. Then they kind of did running tests and stuff, and they found out just right here, the most telling. Read that right there, Dan.
Yeah, the most telling recording of the cat's owner's
eyes aren't
voice
working.
from one of the speakers before the same recording played from the other speaker just a few seconds later. And the results showed the cats were surprised when their opponent appeared to have teleported to a new unexpected location.
So I guess they put a Bluetooth speaker on that side of the room with your voice in it, so the cat's looking over there thinking that you're over there, and then you pop out from behind him, and he's like, whoa, where'd you come from? Holy shit. Yes, holy shit.
Yes.
Now, speaking of holy shit, Dan, during the pandemic, now that we've all been, trapped in our houses and stuff, and we've talked many, many times of all the different fruit flavors, or not fruit flavors, all the food flavors that they're putting out. They've smashed all these different flavors and everything together. Well, there's some good has come out of it. And this guy right here has made a game based on you being a cat. So it's called I Want to Play the Cat Game Right Now, is what the article says. 2022 is shaping up to be a bumper year for games where we play as cats. We are finally getting Stray, which is a science fiction feline adventure. But now also we're getting Little Kitty Big City as well. So these are games that you can play on your PC. Little Kitty Big City is a coming PC game or console, which they don't know which one's coming out yet, where you control a kitten who is lost in the big city to help them get home again.
You got guns and swords, or you're on your own?
I think just your claws and whatever you got. Eventually, anyway, it looks like the point of view game isn't actually going to get home, but to wander around the streets of the Japan city and doing everything that what cats does, jumping into boxes, catching birds and stuff. So this is a new game coming out called Little Kitty Big City, and you walk around and here's a trailer, and let's go to 4 on that one, Dan. And for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well, and you can watch us in real time right here on the streaming service. Follow us on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Are we on 4?
We're on 4.
Okay, so let's go. Let me turn the button, hit the button. Let's see what happens. I'm going to get an ad here, so bear with me. Here it is. What do you see, Dan?
I see a black cat. You're a little kitty lost in the big city. And you show a cat with big green eyes walking towards you.
And what are the graphics?
Find your way home.
What are the graphics like?
They're not super high def, but they're kind of interesting.
They're more cartoonish than an actual cat.
Yeah. Yep, I see the cat jumping into a box and chasing after things. I think it's kind of mindless. It's a get away from everything.
My wife plays basically a touch the screen. Oh, look, he's got a fish in his mouth. He's diving into things.
Yeah, diving in a trash can, chasing after a bird. Up there he goes, looking at a bird up on a fence.
So this looks like a pretty cool little game. It looks like a little adventure game for kids. I mean, Christ,
open world.
Yeah, it's an open world map, and he meets a bunch of friends along the way. My wife plays this, different hats and stuff. My wife plays this one game where all I see her do this. And she's just touching the screen. Tap, 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 tap.
But you don't know what game it is?
Tap, tap. I'm not sure what the name of the game is, but all she's doing is trying to group 3 or 4 things that are together, and it springs into this, and it's just a matching game.
It's Chuzzle.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So, or it's a Chuzzle type game, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's what she does. But, understand the conditions of her job and stuff. I don't blame her if she just wants to be mindless. And she'll literally go, okay, I want to not think, I'm going to watch TikTok videos. And then she'll sit there and watch TikTok videos all day long. Now, being on the same category as pets, Dan, you had a pet. You had Katie, who was a black lab.
We had pit bulls before that, too.
Did you? Did you call them pit bulls, or did you call them, what's the other name for them?
Staffordshire Terriers.
Yes.
No, I called them pit bulls.
But it's that word pit bull, you can go on.
And it's how you bring them up.
Yeah, it is.
Our 80-pound dog broke free of her chain, went over to our neighbor's yard.
The pit bull.
Yeah, the pit bull. She was solid muscle. She broke free of her chain and went into the neighbor's yard. They had a dog that looked like a mop with a tail on it. And that dog started barking because it was its own territory. Mm-hmm. And our dog turned around and went back in his yard because she didn't know that she could just take that dog and swallow it.
So this little dog right here jumped into a golf cart to wanted to go bye-byes. But I think he just jumped in the golf cart and accidentally turned the electric golf cart on. The on-off switch is right there by your hip, by your leg on the dash. So he just kind of jumped up. So the golf cart are very convenient vehicles for short distance of long travel or travel for short distance, on and off the golf course, whatever, figure it out. Perhaps that's a way for a family to decide to invest in one and had one parked in the yard. However, their pet dog made them reconsider the decision of the adorable Titan. Not only drove it, but crashed into the car. So here we go. Video. Let's see where the video is at. I think it's down here. There it is. Go to 4 on that one, Dad. So here he is. This looks like, let's see, does it say where it's at? This is a TikTok video, living the drift life, from that subscription page. They admitted they initially thought their kids had created mischief on their post and commented that, the kids crashed the thing. Luckily, security camera caught the whole entire thing, and the kids didn't get beaten for driving the thing into the car. So here's the actual security camera video. You can see, boy, pick up your yard. He's got shit all over the place. But here you go. I'll blow this up so I don't know if there's any sound. Let's see. No, there's no sound. That's a good-sized dog right there. You can see here's the little golf cart. And don't forget, every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. You can see this in real time. So it looks like he gets on the seat, and he's kind of getting comfortable. It looks like he's been in this cart before. This is probably, he's been in it a million times. And look what happens. He steps on the gas.
Yeah, it looks like he sat down on the gas pedal or something.
And bam! Right over the kiddie pool, right into the side of the SUV. He gets out, walks on. Nothing happened. I didn't do anything. That was fun. There you go. All right, guys, stick around. We got more of the show to dive into. And what's that smell on my hike? It smells like an old bar or a bar mat or something. Stick around. We'll get into what that smell.
Right now I can smell horse shit. I don't know where that came from.
Let's stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live. We'll be right back. 9.
Yeah, between security cameras and Ring things, the stuff you see is like, I'd like to get a Ring because that would cover anybody coming in my driveway and all the.
They're not that expensive, and the one that I have has a solar charger around it, so it charges the battery in the camera, so you don't have to hardwire it or anything. I saw one TikTok video. It was a person filming a TikTok video and showing her Ring camera is watching her Ring camera because they live in like a, sidewalk goes down like a apartment complex. Okay. Sidewalk goes down, one door goes to the left, one door goes to the right, and both these people are fighting with each other. So there's cameras. One camera's watching her camera, which is watching her camera, which is watching her camera. It's a mess. I'm like, God, how do people live like that? I don't understand it, but nonetheless, people are people, so why should it be? I think I got a song there somewhere. We'll do the terracotta pie, and we'll do this guy. What are you looking for over there, Dan?
Just to see if terracotta is a color. Or, I've had terracotta tiles.
I think terracotta is the actual
It's a color. Terracotta is a color.
Well, it's a color, but I think it's a type of making a pot. Like it's a terracotta pot. Am I wrong on that?
Let me just see it. I had terracotta tiles, so.
But were they made out of? I think it's the process of how they make it.
Oh, okay.
Because terra means earth, and cotta means cheese.
Yep, I'm seeing a bunch of.
So it's cheese earth tiles.
Yeah, terracotta and clay pots the same. So.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
When we get done with this, Amy's still not going to be back.
What time do you think she'll be back?
She'll probably be back by 1.
Oh, yeah, that should be.
Because it takes an hour to get there. It'll probably take an hour and a half for her to do the flocking, and then...
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
Okay. You could start on the window. All right. Did you come back for 1? Okay. Welcome back to DeaconLive. We are broadcasting from the COVIDSapien.com studios. For more information about who the actual culprit of this widespread pandemic is, go to COVIDSapien.com. And the cause of my widespread panic is over to my far right side, IT Dan.
I haven't been a stopstick today.
No.
I think I'm doing pretty good.
You are doing good. And we're doing something new here. We're live streaming the whole entire show. Normally we give you like a good 5-6 minutes of it, and then we send you off to the YouTube channel once we get all the editing and everything done. So you're getting hopefully you guys are enjoying this, the live broadcast. We'll also do the video as well if you missed it the first time around. Now, Dan, this gentleman right here, are you familiar with who Paul Reubens is?
Yeah, Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman. Had his own TV show for a while. He had his own not a holiday special. Well, I think he had a holiday special as well. But he had a show on HBO, a stand-up routine. He actually started out on the Dating Game. He introduced his character as Pee Wee Herman on the Dating Game. So now, more than 40 years, Paul Reubens, better known as Pee Wee Herman, landed his very own radio talk show. Actually, it's more of a talk show. It's kind of a variety show. The program will air on KCRW, the popular NPR affiliate Santa Monica-based California radio station.
I actually met Pee Wee Herman.
Did you really?
Yes, in Florida at a movie theater.
You're the guy who turned him in?
Yes, I turned him in.
It's so sad. He's still, I don't know if people know.
His whole life is going to be...
His whole life, because his character was just so weird and creepy anyways, that, but... Did you see his mugshot? He had like long shoulder length hair, so I don't know how long. If you see Paul Reubens, he's got this real short hair, buzz cut. But when they arrested him, he looked like that Nick Nolte picture almost with the real long shaggy hair. Anyways, everyone, free Pee Wee. We love Pee Wee. And this Friday, November 26th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, his new show will hit the air. Now you're going to say, well, what is Pee Wee going to do?
What is Pee Wee going to do?
Pee Wee is going to have his mainstays like Cherry, The Magic Screen, Miss Yvonne, as well as some other super famous special guest surprises. Thank you all the fans to what happened. So you're thinking probably this NPR channel came up to Pee Wee and said, Pee Wee, we'd love for you to do a show. And Pee Wee goes, I'd love to do a show. I know that was a horrible impression, but he wrote a letter to CBS, who owned the radio station, and said, hey, look, I got an idea for a radio show. And of course, I'm sure a radio station or CBS gets all these letters from, I don't want to call Pee Wee Herman a third string or a D-list actor, but they probably get letters and phone calls from him all the time, like, yeah, whatever. So what happened was Pee Wee Herman did this right here. Let's see. Where is it at? So what he did was, here's right from his Twitter channel here. I went to the KCRW studios today and met with the engineers who are going to help me do my show. So what he did was, in the beginning, he sent out a tweet with his letterhead right on it. So, and he hashtag KCRW. And, they said, forget it. We don't have anything to do with you. But what happened was, all of his fans started tweeting KCRW and said, you got to put Pee Wee on. You got to put Pee Wee on. So his fans liked him and harassed this radio station so much that they said, all right, we'll give you a show. November 26th at 6 p.m.
Doesn't everybody want to be a disc jockey?
And, I wanted to at one time, and then I realized you have to. I don't know. I did it for a while. I did it for a couple of radio stations and actually live in nightclubs too. I did it for a good 8 years, almost 9 years. And then I'm like, these kids are still the same age and I'm getting older. What's the thing that Matthew McConaughey says? What I like about high school kids is they all stay 18 and I keep getting older, or something like that. Anyways, I think I got that flipped around. Now, something that's getting older right now is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Are you familiar with Reese's Peanut Butter Cups,
Yeah,
Dan?
very familiar. Know the whole story.
You've never had one, though, is what you're saying.
Never had one in my life.
Well, I went to the store the other day, and I saw they were putting out the Christmas stuff, and it's not even Thanksgiving yet. And I saw these big Reese cups. They're probably about 6 inches in diameter. I'm like, oh, wow, those look really good. I could go for one of those. Well, lo and behold, Reese's, I'm going to put this on camera forward, Dan. Reese's massive new pie is perfect for Thanksgiving dessert. With Thanksgiving just right around the corner, those of us hosting the big event and attending the potluck have likely been bookmark recipes at some time. All right, so what they're doing right now is they're making this massive peanut butter cup pie. So from apple pie to pecan pie to pumpkin pies and cheesecakes and all these different flavors, this peanut butter pie, which is actually a peanut butter cup, is coming out for Thanksgiving. It's huge. It's huge. So let's see, right here, Dan.
Yeah, if you love chocolate and you love peanut butter, you'll likely enjoy the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup or several in your day. This classic candy can be found in a variety of sizes that vary around the year, from the tinfoiled miniatures handed out trick-or-treaters to a massive half-pound holiday version that's perfect for sharing at gatherings. And this year, Reese's is releasing its largest peanut cup ever, a pie-sized shape containing 48 services.
Jesus!
With a whopping 9-inch diameter and a hefty 3¼ pounds of chocolate and peanut butter.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a sweet tooth right there.
But, they said that we talked about the pumpkin ones, when they came out with the pumpkin Reese's, because of the chocolate and peanut butter ratio was higher.
I've never had anything pumpkin flavored that has tasted good ever.
No, but I'm saying Reese's came out with the pumpkin shape, I should say. I didn't mean the flavor. But this is so big. I mean, if you're looking at it here, well, that's not it. This right here, it's so big, I don't think the chocolate to peanut butter ratio is going to be the same. I'm hoping that they can maintain, because the inside's not wet, but it's not creamy. It's kind of like a brittle, I don't know how to explain it, but anyone who knows what a Reese's peanut butter cup center looks like, that's what the whole pie's made of. So they're coming out with that, so that should be interesting. Now, have you ever been hiking, Dan? You like to go hiking?
Yeah. I like to take long walks in the woods and bring a shovel with me, too.
Why do you bring a shovel?
In case the girl starts acting up.
And so a lot of times you go hiking to get out and enjoy the fresh air. Oh, get out and smell Mother Nature.
I've gone hiking in Hawaii.
Well, this is where this next story takes place. It could be good environment. This can't be good for the environment. The Hawaiian News now reports a stream in, what's that word right there?
Waiaupo.
On the island of Ua. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Ua.
Ua. Is contaminated with alcohol from a storm drain that appears to be spilled by a nearby warehouse. Now, when I say alcohol, I mean actual booze.
The kind you drink.
Yes.
Okay.
And the warehouse is owned by a company called Paradise Beverages, which this is the biggest distributor of alcohol in the state. Well, I would imagine you can't have too many alcohol people fighting on those little small islands. So what happens is a hiker who took some photos of the stream of the incident in the area said it smelled like beer. It smelled like you ever walked into a bar that's been closed down for a little bit and it's that stank old beer smell.
I've walked by people that have that old beer smell.
I have too. And it's my mom always says, oh, you smell like a brewery type thing. Well, these lakes and streams and stuff around the area are getting coated with that beer flavor. Now, they realized that they tested the water and found out that 1.2% of the water was alcohol. And it can also contain sugar, about 0.04. So you're like, well, what can it do? Beer, I know, is good for grass and leaves and foliage and vegetation. What it's not good for is the little frog. So you're going to have little drunk frogs out there everywhere. The fish, they can sense danger in the water. They won't swim in those areas.
I'm a little skeptical of this.
What's that?
I think you should fly me to Hawaii so I can check it out.
First class, right?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Now, with times they are changing, Dan. Just the way of life in general, as far as I always say it's the Anderson rule, where everything technologically changes every 18 months. So what you buy now in 18 months' time, they'll have something that's tenfold better than what it is now.
I mean, there's very few things from my childhood that are the same. Everything is changing.
So right now, this is a sad, sad story. Do you know who the L.A. Lakers are?
Yeah, basketball team.
And what arena do they play at?
The Staples Center.
Now, Staples...
It's where the L.A. Kings play there, too.
The Kings?
L.A. Kings.
Oh. So Staples is a place where you buy all your office products and all your notary stuff and all, not notary stuff, but pads and paper and pencil and help me out here, Dan.
The Staples is where you go to on the days that Amazon's closed.
So that's where I was leading to. Staples, I'm surprised they lasted this long. And the price tag to have that name up on the LA center there.
And Staples bought out Office Depot. So I mean, it's.
Did they buy out Office Depot? Because I thought.
Yeah, because they're closing down the Office Depots near us.
I thought they bought out Office Max.
I think Office Max and Office Depot, because they closed both of them. They closed the Office Depot near me, and they closed the Office Max near Home Depot.
Well, Staples is getting ready to close down too. So what's happening is they've taken the name off the Staples Center. It is no longer called Staples Center Arena.
What's the new name?
And this is where I say, as we evolve in time, it's actually going to be called Crypto.com Arena. So you see what I'm saying is this whole cryptocurrency that everyone says, the Dogecoin, the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, the Litherium, the Bentherium, all these other different coins and stuff, the Ishudibu dog or something like that. Cryptocurrency is now being more, I guess, accepted. And so the guy who owns Crypto.com has now placed his name on top of the arena formerly known as the Staples Arena.
And that's a Japanese company, right? Isn't it?
I don't know, Dan. Look it up. Yeah. Find out what's going on with this, with who owns Crypto.com, see if they're publicly traded, and what's the value on it. While he does that, we're going to take a quick little break and come back, and guess what? What makes that snapping sound that you do? That snapping sound? Well, they've got a high-speed camera right now that shows exactly the process of making that sound. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Shooby-dooby-doo. Strangers in the night. Go to 9. It's all right. I got it. I had you doing a couple things over there. All right. I'll be right back.
You had me multitasking.
It's 12 o'clock. You gonna do a bagel today?
I already had it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Don't mind if I do. Oh, those are cold.
It's headquartered in Singapore, has 10 million users and 3,000 employees.
I gotta pull these articles real quick. Oh, I pulled these so long ago. Some of these articles I pulled like right after last week's show, so I have to dive down a little bit further to get them. Let's see. Get that one. What is a snap? I saw that this morning. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And oh no, I don't want that story yet. Where is it? Oh, this one right here. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Go back to 1. Ow. You need a light over there, Dan?
I need something. I can't see.
Hold on.
I just moved the keyboard a little.
Here, you want a light? There's a light. Just lay it over there somewhere. Welcome back to DeaconLive as Dan fumbles around over there trying to figure out what camera to put us on. We are broadcasting live from the COVIDSapien.com studios. Check them out. They got a lot of valuable information. Makes you think a little bit of, as far as what's going on. So check them out at COVIDSapien.com. Now, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on about 22 some odd acres out here. We have horses, chickens, cattle, cats that keep me awake all night, and all that. So what'd you find out about Crypto.com?
Yeah, Crypto.com was founded in 2016. It's headquartered in Singapore. It has 10 million users and 3,000 employees. And they bought the naming rights for $700 million for 20 years.
So the naming rights for the building?
Yeah, for the building.
So say that again. How much?
$700 million to put their name on the building.
For 10 years?
Yeah, for 20 years.
20 years. Okay, wow. I mean, that's got to be, that's Crypto.com. I mean, that's how serious it is, folks.
Yeah, it's here. I think it's going to be here. So.
Well, there you go. All right, now, Dan, we are slowly, well, actually, we've been continuously getting out of our homes and getting back out in the workforce. We're getting out there and we're able to go see concerts. We had the whole EDM, is it EDM? EDC, Electric Daisy Carnival that was in Orlando, Central Florida somewhere, out by Tinker Field, I believe. And, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people are out there. You know, it's all rave music and stuff. And then they had Rockville, which was right around the corner. They also had a Claremont, where my mom and dad live. They have now I'm a Florida born and raised. That's why I know all this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know the geography down there.
And they had like Claremont Jazz Festival, which, Granier's about, 3,000-4,000 people. But nonetheless, we're all out there. We're all out there. We're either vaccinated or rolling the dice, I guess is what we're doing. Now, this one young lady right here decided, everyone puts on the COVID-19, that 19 pounds, during the COVID times, everyone puts on a little weight. This young lady right here decided it was time for her to get her ass back in gear and get her butt back into the gym. Unfortunately, she almost lost her leg. And right here, after a spin class, Kaylin Franco's legs became swollen and she could barely walk. She developed potential deadly condition and needed IVs and leg surgery to survive. What is this word right here?
Yeah, rhabdo.
Rhabdo might be on the rise in the pandemic with people jumping back into fitness too intensely.
I told you fitness is not good for you.
All right, take it away right here, Dan.
Oh, okay. Kaylin Franco wanted to keep cycling when the weather turned cool this fall, so she signed up for an indoor spin class at a new gym. It was her first. The 23-year-old from Marlborough, Mass., which is where my brother-in-law Eric lived.
Oh, is it?
Builder, yes.
Maybe they know each other.
Yeah. Well, she thought she was pushing herself appropriately, but when she got off the bike, her knees buckled. The next day, her legs were swollen and tense. Franco chalked it up to muscle gains, no gain, no pain.
Right.
And soon she couldn't walk without grabbing countertops, and her urine turned brown.
Oh, yeah. Gross. So right here, Franco went to the hospital where she learned she developed rhabdomyolysium. Did I say that right?
No, rhabdomyolysis.
That's what I said. Isn't that what I said?
Exactly.
A rare condition caused where the muscle tissue breaks down so rapidly and releases protein called myoglobin.
Myoglobin. Yeah.
Looks like goblin to me. Into the bloodstream. When the kidneys can't filter it fast enough, it turns into the person's urine into Coke colored and can lead to organ failure. And
does it taste like Coke?
I don't know, Dan. But it could almost lead to death. Right there.
Yeah, Franco also developed compute compartment syndrome in her right leg, a condition which building pressure in the legs dangerously limits blood flow. Oh, so you can turn your leg blue and get it amputated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She almost lost her leg.
Yeah, so doctors were getting concerned. They had brought in a bunch of specialists to monitor. To treat her, they gave her IV fluids to flush out the proteins and later cut open her leg to relieve the building pressure. She had not done the surgery in time. She very well could have had her leg amputated or died.
So, I mean, be careful out there. Yeah. All you, what are those CrossFit people are going out there running around and throwing car tires across,
Yeah, moderation. You got to use moderation.
They always say, always moderation. Now, let's see. Let's go to, what's this new high-speed thing? Oh, let's go to this one here. So we're going to talk about this guy right here. A delivery truck, an Amazon delivery truck was what?
I've never seen one of those. like every other car on the road is
I
an
know.
Amazon truck.
There was an article I was reading prior to this one where the guy in a white Sprinter van was working, third party with Amazon, and accidentally, his Sprinter van was giving him problems all day long, and he pulled up in the guy's driveway, delivered his packages, and then his van died. So he had a buddy come pick him up. The van stayed there for 4 months, and he's calling Amazon to come get this van out of my yard, and Amazon's like going, it's not my van.
Yeah.
So I think it ran out of oil or something. He ran it so hard, that's how much he was driving. He never changed the oil, and it just burned the engine up. So he just left it there. He's like, fuck it, guy, it's yours. Yeah. Well, this guy right here literally left his van right there. This is an actual Amazon van, was sliced in half. This T-shaped junction in a public road is very confusing sometimes of where to park or where to leave your car. This crossing with no signals or no lights, and Alexander, the driver, was unaware of the Amtrak approaching him from crossing in the center of the same direction. So Evans made a left-hand turn into the crossing. He's also deaf in his left ear, Dan. So that, 1-2 punch there. So he didn't hear the train's blaring horns at the last moment before impact. Literally, I was like one long beep horn from the train, and I put my foot on the gas, and I was like trying to get out of his way. I didn't know if I was going to get clipped or not. So here's a picture of it right here. Go to camera 4 on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can see the train tracks. You can see the back end of the van.
That's the back end. Yeah. That's the back end of the van. You ever seen The Price is Right, where you try to get the car and you pull the tiles. You try to get the front of the car and the back of the car, and if you get those two tiles, you win that car. Well, here's the front of the tile, and here's the back of it.
Yeah, it's a Dodge Ram van, and it's like sliced it in half.
Take that right there.
Yeah, that last press of the throttle was enough to move the driver's seat out of the train's path. The train would impact the rear compartment, ripping it clean off the front portion of the vehicle. When asked what he experienced in the impact, he replied, just air and the pressure. I felt the airbags. I didn't know what to feel, to be honest with you. But, yeah, he's very lucky he's not dead. So.
And so those packages are going to be just a little bit late. Now, Dan, do you know how to snap your fingers?
Yeah, but I don't do it well.
All right, well, here's me snap. Here's mine. Now you do yours. Yeah, it sounds
not as good.
A new high-speed camera reveals exactly the physics of a finger snap.
Yeah, it all happens in a snap. New high-speed video exposes the blink-and-you-miss-it physics behind snapping your fingers. The footage reveals the extreme speed at which the gesture occurs and shows that friction plus the compressibility of the finger pads are key to humans' ability to snap properly. And a finger snaps only last about 7 milliseconds. That's roughly 20 times as fast as a blink of an eye. And after slipping off the thumb, the middle finger rotates at a rate up to 7.8 degrees per millisecond, nearly what a professional baseball pitcher's arm can achieve. So
here's a video of a high-speed camera doing a snap. So go over to camera 5 on this one, Dan. Give everyone the big full screen here, and hopefully I won't have a thing. So boom. I'll play it one more time because it happens real quick. Let's go refresh and go. So it slides off, and it's not it coming off your thumb. It's your finger hitting the palm of your hand is what actually makes the noise, that slap sound. Okay. So, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
So it's not your thumb, it's your finger hitting the palm of your hand that makes the actual sound. So there you go. Science at work, guys. Now, Dan, unfortunately, I hate to say this, you're not a very funny man.
Oh, I know. Thank you. All my dad jokes.
No, you do say some funny stuff. Some of them go right over my head. Some of them I just let them lay out there, and hopefully those two listeners out there.
When you wake up in the middle of the night and you thought you just died, you stopped. Now I get what Dan said today. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So right now, studies have shown that there are more than just terrible posts, but the era of 69, the joke of 69, is officially not funny anymore. I know what you're thinking about. What about when it's part of someone's home address or their age, a historical figure when they die, or also answer to a math question? Sorry, it is over with. The demise of the 69 is partially thanks to the guys like Elon Musk, a man who caters to the lowest common meme and memeanator to paper over the fact that his what's this right here?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Goddamn articles.
Yeah. He's an asinine ideas tech guy at best, and someone deserved the nickname Apartheid Clyde at worst. He's precisely the kind of person that 69 belongs to, the gleaming figurehead of a legion of crypto fanboys and Gen Xers whose dating app range happened to dip down into the early 20s. So. Now, as far as math-wise, what is the square root of 69?
I don't know.
8-something.
Oh, Jesus. Like I said, folks.
Hey, that's the truth. That's the math.
All right, when we come back, guess what? You ready to join the Mile High Club? Not me and you. You ready to join the Mile High Club, Dan? Now's your chance to. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. 9. Slap, 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 clap, 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 slap, 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 clap, clap.
Yeah, I'm not one who usually snaps my fingers, usually for any reason.
I worked with this guy at Pepsi. What are you doing? Did you drop something? Oh, you're making more noise is what you're doing. Thanks for waiting until we're off the air.
I'm doing this for the live feed.
Yeah, give them something to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about. Let's go to that one. I worked with a guy at Pepsi, and he did something weird. He'd rub his fingers the way his fingerprints were. He'd rub his fingers, and it sounded like a bug fluttering by your ear. He'd go, brr, 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 and he'd come up behind you, and he'd scare you. But the way his fingerprints were, I mean, it was loud. You could hear it from here. He would go, brr, brr, brr. I'm like, God, get away from me, Kevin. Fucking jerk. I didn't like him.
That was the paper company?
No, PepsiCo. I worked for PepsiCo for when I was like 20 or something like that.
They're never going to make it anyway.
Well, they were PepsiCo, and then they got sold to a company, or they sold off the food end of Pepsi, turning it into I think it was called Ameriserve, and then I think some other like McLean's or something bought them from there. They're the ones who distribute to like Taco Bell, KFC, Pizza, and all those, because they were all Pepsi owned.
When are we going to do Up to Speed?
Oh, let's do it right now. Sorry, Dan. I was so concentrating on the show. Let me pull these articles real quick, and I'll do Up to Speed. Thank you for reminding me, or I would have kept going. It's all about me, Dan. Yeah. It's all about me. Here we go. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We are broadcasting live from the COVIDSapien.com studios. Check them out. Go to COVIDSapien.com. Don't blame Trump, Biden, Democrats, or Republican. Blame the actual people who invented and created this whole entire pandemic that we're living in. Go to COVIDSapien.com. Now, before we continue, it is now time for Up to Speed with Technology with IT Dan.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to run any Android apps on your computer, on a PC? Running a virtual Android device on your PC does technically work, but it's more of a Band-Aid than a solution. It's not really a great experience, and it puts a lot of stress on your computer's performance. But Android apps in Windows 11 are not running on one of the emulators like the old ways. Windows 11 uses Intel Bridge technology. That means you can run Windows apps, run natively in Windows 11, and they don't have to have anything different with the developers. So if you have an app that you'd like to use on your phone and you use it a lot, you can use it on your PC now. You could play games
through Windows 11.
Apps. Windows 11, we can play a bunch of apps.
Hold on, because I think I'm looking at my screen here. I think I've got apps on here already from. Do I have an app store somewhere? Right here.
Yeah, they have the Microsoft Store, but these apps you'd get from the Amazon App Store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're Amazon App Store.
Gotcha.
But you can, and some people just, even if you have something that's just used technology-wise, doesn't have to be a game.
But aren't apps designed to be on phones because you're technically supposed to use them as your being mobile at the same time?
Yeah, they are. There's a lot of them that require your fingerprint and pictures and stuff.
Yeah, I can understand like Netflix. Netflix on your PC, Netflix app on your phone. I can understand stuff that you're physically watching, like television type apps.
But I have a calculator app that I use a lot. I have an alarm clock app that works great.
Why do you have a calculator app when your
on
phone?
Your phone?
comes with a calculator.
Because the one I have is much better, and I think math a certain way. And sometimes, if I do math, I'm doing 2 + 7 = 9, and some of the calculators they don't do the same order of math I do. So that's why I do it, and it also keeps a running tally. You can scroll back and see.
Oh, okay.
That.
All right.
It's not a big deal, but it's. And I have an alarm clock app that works really great. And you can play certain music to it.
Okay. What else you got?
Yeah. The microprocessor that we've come so used to. Some people weren't around before them, but it just turned 50 years old. So in 1971, that's the year I graded high school.
I wasn't born yet.
Intel debuted the first commercial single-chip microprocessor. And you know what they used it for?
What's that?
It was for a pocket calculator. Yeah.
What, a Texas Instrument or something like that?
Yeah, and it was right about the same time. But BusyCom 141 PF calculator, which I haven't seen. We did not have calculators when I went to school. They did not exist.
So what did you have, an abacus?
We had a slide rule.
Oh, God.
You had a slide rule and you did it all. And I don't know how we checked our math when all you have is pencil and paper and stuff. But
yeah, what if you were right and the teacher was wrong?
Yeah. And those processors then was 0.074 gigahertz and cost $60 in 1971, which would be $401 in today's dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fastest chips they have out now cost $589. And they're 5.2 gigahertz.
So $589 for the chip. So you're saying if I go out to a store and buy a PC off the shelf, the tower, and let's say the tower and everything's like not the monitor, just the tower, is $700. You're saying $569? 69.
Well, yes,
$69.
Yes.
Of that is part of the just for the processor. Everything else $200.
My last computer I bought, the processor itself, that one chip, cost almost half of the computer. That's
amazing.
Yep, crazy.
What else you got?
You want a chance to buy a PlayStation 5? Walmart allows you to shop online for Black Friday deals 4 hours before anybody else if you're a Walmart Plus member, which costs $100 a year.
They're trying to be like an Amazon Prime member type thing.
Yes, and that doesn't mean that you're going to get one. It just means you have a chance. You go for. And Best Buy's been releasing some PlayStation 5 exclusively to Total Tech members who pay $200 a year for tech support and delivery. But if you're signing up just to get a PlayStation, you're sending retailers the message that they can make more money by making it harder for you to buy your products.
Yeah.
So you're paying $200 for a chance. It's just shit.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll wait. I don't need it right now.
It won't even guarantee you. It's like you're paying for the chance to buy a console.
I don't need it right now.
It's the shittiest lottery in history. Plus, my PlayStation 4 is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see how much more that the PlayStation 5. That's like when the PlayStation 3 to 4 came out. I didn't see a whole lot of change. I'm sure there's tech nerds out there like Dan that they could tell you the microbit driving experimental zip code.
Not between my PlayStation 4 is one my wife bought me, and that's and she regrets it every day.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. What else you got? Anything? What?
Oh, great.
What'd you forget?
My train of thought did just left the station. Netgear has a new mesh router that will cover 9,000 square feet.
Okay, so that's about the size of my house.
Yeah, $1,449.
Nope, don't need that much.
No, I mean it's supposed to be awesome and full high speed and 1 gigabyte everywhere.
The router that we have here
on Nighthawk.
Yeah, on the French, it reaches all the way down to the barn, and the barn's how far from the studio here?
Oh, at least 20 feet. No.
I mean,
about 250 feet, I'd say.
Yeah, so I mean, and we get almost a good signal down there, but we do have a repeater down there. All right, Dan, thank you very much. Stick around. We got more of the show getting into. We'll talk about that plane that you can go up in the air and have sex in, and also what it actually looks like to go from 100 miles an hour to 0 in a blink of an eye. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. 9. Good job, Dan.
Yeah, I got a thing this morning, and I said, "Oh, there was something that was crazy," and I remembered it.
Noisiest drinker.
So Kathy asked me to drive her over to feed the cats so she feed the cat.
Uh-huh.
And I get in the Kia and I started up and saw the oil light on. I go, crap, that's not good. So I went over and I have some oil. I poured oil in my car. I poured 1 quart in.
Did you test the oil or check the dipstick first before you?
Yeah,
Now, does your car burn oil?
It doesn't usually, and I change it every 5,000 miles. And I checked it, and it was down super low. I checked it, and I go, this sucks. And I had a quart. I had 2 5-gallon ones, 5-quart ones that had some in it. Then I took another quart out of my workshop. It was still low, and then I went down to drove the truck down to Dollar General and bought 2 more quarts. $5 a quart at Dollar General. And then I put that quart in, and now I'm going to change the oil on tomorrow.
That's fascinating, Dan. I'm going to keep that in the podcast. And then I got another quart of oil. And guess what? There was only a little bit of oil in that quart of oil. And then we had that's NPR stuff. And then I opened up the dipstick and I put the dipstick back into the engine and the oil. And I'm sorry, Dan. I'm just messing with you.
I know.
You ready?
I could have blown the car up.
I could have.
And my Kia's.
That's how you should have started the story. Yeah. Guess what, Trav? I almost blew my car up. Well, what the hell happened? Well, I got in the car, and then you got to sell the sizzle, Dan.
Well, do you want to do that when we start?
No, we can do whatever you want. Yeah, let's try it and see what happens. You ready? Camera 1. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We're broadcasting from the COVIDSapien.com studios. I got myself some stuff over there. I got some magnets. I got some T-shirts coming in. Go to COVIDSapien.com. Check them out. Find out the real story about this whole pandemic and everything. And Dan, over to my far hand side, my very own pandemic, is IT Dan.
Yeah. I'm good with IT. I'm not too good with automobiles.
Why? What happened?
I almost blew up the engine in my Kia.
Dan, how did you almost blow up the engine on your Kia?
Well, my wife asked me to drive her over so she could feed the cats.
Is this going somewhere?
And I started up the car and I saw the engine oil light on, shut it off, and checked the dipstick. Nothing showing at all.
She wouldn't sit still.
So I had a quart of oil in my garage. Poured that in. Nothing. I drove down and got a couple more quarts.
So what's the long of the story here?
You check your oil in your car once in a while.
All right. Well, there you go. Now, I have a news alert. Oh, my God. I had to switch my feet around. Right here. Kraft Heinz. You've heard of those guys, right?
Yes.
They're recalling some Country Time lemonade and Kool-Aid tropical punch. You wonder why? You ask yourself why?
Why are they doing that?
They actually found little tiny pieces of metal and glass inside the container. So make sure if you have any of the Country Time lemonade or the Kool-Aid tropical punch, let's see, it's got on the, where's the recall dates? Best use when by is between June 13th, 2023 and October 3rd, 2023. Not all packets' date range need to be recalled, but just to let you know.
Did you say date rape?
I almost did. Yeah. And make sure if you have any questions, call 855-713-9237.
Now, I can see you getting pieces of metal in there because you have a problem with the machinery and there's a burr and things are happening during the process, but I can't see having glass, too. That sounds to me suspicious.
What if one of the containers had a glass, it was a glass container, and maybe a piece of machinery fell on it and maybe chipped a corner of it off, and it got down into the grinder and grinded the glass up, and they go, okay, hey, when they do an inspection time, they looked at the containers, you do your pre-trip and your post-trip, and this container's broken, and there's a piece missing. Hey, Charlie, where's this piece? I don't know, boss.
Yeah, but I can't see. I can see if glass got in there, metal's going to grind the glass up. But if I can't see getting both of the things happen at the same time.
Maybe. Here's my thing. So let's say a bolt falls off from the top of the rafters, hits the glass container. Both the glass and the bolt go into the grinder. Now you have metal and glass in your Kool-Aid and you're dead.
As long as you're going 88 miles an hour when the lightning hits the bell tower.
Right, exactly.
Yes, everything will be fine.
Now, speaking of going 88 miles an hour, let's see. So this is what it looks like to crash into a stationary car going 108 miles an hour. Now, Dan, you were talking about the one football player who was just
recently. Ruggs the third, that he was going 146 miles an hour before that crash when he killed that woman.
Jesus. And she was almost at a dead. I hate to use it.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to use dead standstill, but I mean, she passed away. And, his attorneys were actually blaming the fire department that the woman died. The woman and her dog that was in the car died because they didn't get there quick enough. So I guess they're saying that if the car didn't burst into flames, that she would have survived. Excuse me, with some kind of abnormalities or immortalities or whatever.
Lawyers are just the nicest people.
They will find out everything. Yeah. But right here, if you watch this video, read this right here, Dan.
Yeah, during the 2021 running of the Petit Le Mans at Road Atlanta, a multi-car crash less than halfway into the 10-hour race wiped out some of the race's most promising competitors and spurred a lengthy cleanup. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt, but it did give us a frankly terrifying look at what it's like to go careening into a stationary car at over 100 miles an hour.
So here we go. Here the video is playing on a loop here, and you can see this video in real time as we're talking about here live on the air. Go to profitradio.com, click on Deacon Live, and make sure you like us on Twitch, YouTube.
He's texting. Is he texting?
No, he's not texting.
Okay.
That's his steering wheel. It's showing the position of his steering wheel. But look, he is at 100. You can see the miles per hour, and then all of a sudden 180 something, and then he hits the car. Bam! Drops right down in half. I mean, but those guys are strapped in there. I memean, they're strapped in there pretty good.
They have roll cage. Well, yeah, they did something right if he walked away from it. So
this guy right here, speaking of speeding, it's just a typical day over in Australia. A speed camera captures a man on the hood of a Ford Ute traveling 73 miles an hour while drinking a beer, Dan. One Australian man tossed car safety right out the window when he was caught on the hood of his car going 73 miles per hour on a Ford Ute. UTE, I guess is the name.
Like Cousin Vinny. The bunch of Utes came in.
Yeah, Utes, that's what it is. Yeah. Police in Australia asked the public to help identify the vehicle and the man attached to it. So let's see if Australia News has an update. Let's, maybe they got a video. So if you're looking at the video here, here it is. Please be film footage. Here we go.
5?
Go to 5, please. Yes. It's probably going to be an ad here, so bear with us 1 second.
Around here,
yep.
He's riding on the bonnet.
So there's Firehouse Subs, by the way. They were bought out by Burger King, so I'm sure the guys who own that place are happy. $9 billion they bought Firehouse Subs. Well, anyways, once this commercial ends.
You do you.
If a picture tells 1,000 words, this one spells out a disaster waiting to happen.
The guy's lucky to be alive.
Clocked hurtling down one of Perth's most treacherous roads at 119 kilometres an hour on a bonnet, drinking a beer. The driver, also a beer in one hand, the wheel
out the window, look at that.
in the other. The vehicle is fitted with false Victorian plates to try give police the bum steer.
They may think they've gotten away with it. Eventually, they are very likely to be caught and face the full force of the law.
That could include up to a $12,000 fine, 12 months in jail, or being disqualified from driving for life. The reckless stunt was caught on camera here on Indian Ocean Drive near Lancelin. This is a notoriously dangerous stretch of road, one that's seen 19 deaths and 65 serious injuries over the past 5 years. Just this afternoon, 2 men were rushed to hospital after a truck rollover along the same stretch of highway. But despite the danger, these hoons aren't the only Perth drivers not getting the message. 2 men were charged over this on the same road in 2019.
He's naked up on top.
Recently, a Saturday night, this car surfing stunt was captured through the Northbridge Tunnel.
They got a problem over there, Dan. They're dancing on cars and riding on the hood of the thing.
What else you can do in Australia, really?
I don't know.
You chase
down under.
Kangaroos around?
I guess down under the rules are different. Yeah, I mean, he's riding 73 miles an hour, drinking a beer. I mean, come on, haven't we all done that at some point in our lives?
Yeah, good old fun.
No? All right, you want to have some fun, Dan? You got $1,000?
Not on me.
Not on you? So let's do this. All aboard the Love Cloud, a jet-inspiring high-mile clubbers looking to get it on while skydiving or sky flying in the air. Let's see, right here.
Yeah, for sky sex enthusiasts who don't want to bother with the hassle of boarding a plane en route to an actual destination just to get their plane sex on, the Love Cloud presents a perfectly alternative to a cramped hookup in an airplane bathroom. Recently featured in New York Post because where else? The Love Cloud is a private jet couples can charter to fly them around aimlessly over Las Vegas while they get it on and back. In other words, it's a sex plane to nowhere, and you could board for $995.
The first grand gets you 45 minutes. But if you want to do like an hour and a half, that's $1,400, almost $1,500 if you desire. I mean, what are you going to do for the other hour and 25 minutes?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. After the 43 minutes of sitting around watching TV.
So each cabin comes with a twin-size bed to accommodate up to 6 guests at once, if that's your thing, Dan. I mean, complete with red satin sheets, sex pillow, I guess, aka those handy little pillows to be placed under certain body parts and stuff. Essentially, it sounds like I can only imagine like in the interior of like Hugh Hef's Bunny Ranch or something like that. But here's the thing. So you've got this plane flying around. You got people humping and dumping in the back there, and you're a pilot. So, and there's only one pilot. And they actually interviewed the pilot and said, has anyone said, can you come back here? Let's get it on with you too. Let's bring you into the party. He's like going, look, I'm one guy. Unless someone else knows how to fly this plane, I cannot get out of this seat. Hence the term cockpit.
Yes, we're doing that. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just thinking jet fuel. I mean, you're going to be flying for an hour and a half. You got to figure how much jet fuel, but they're still $995.
No, it's 40. It's 45 minutes for $1,000.
Yeah.
So I mean, when can you say, the plane's got to take off, and then it's got to level out, and then you say, okay, when the pilot goes, you're free to move about the cabin.
Yeah.
Does he actually make that announcement?
Yes.
Hey, you're free to get it on or something like that.
Yeah, that's $1,000 I won't spend.
And what if the plane lands and you've got another couple right behind? I mean, how what's the time frame between when you go up and you go down, and then you have to sterilize the whole entire, bleach bath the whole entire inside?
Oh, every Friday they change the sheets. It's all
gross. Now, this right here, sometimes, you've seen cartoons where it's a down day and the cloud just kind of hangs over your head and it's raining on you and it's only raining on you, and you've seen it on cartoons.
That's my life.
A million times. Dan's always got a cloud hanging over his head. Well, in this video here, and we're going to watch this video, go to camera 4, Dan, is an Indonesian man on his way to his car to a parking lot was left scratching his head when he noticed that a massive downpour burst forth from the sky and a torrential rain was falling on just one vehicle alone. So, right here, Dan.
Yeah, initially thinking that someone with a hose was simply spraying the car, Rihanna looked around, saw no such person, and soon realized the water was in fact rain. Perhaps thinking he was witnessing some supernatural incident, as one is prone to do, he pulled out his cell phone and filmed the bizarre sight. Unsurprisingly, the footage of this monstrous moment at the hotel parking lot, it went viral.
All right, so let's see what happens here. And you got us on 4? So look at this. No one, it's raining absolutely nowhere around, and it's only raining. Look at that. You see that, man? Yeah. It's only raining on that car. Didn't 40 seconds there, 50 seconds? Here's the rain. You see that shit, man? Of course, he's got to stick his head in there, too.
Yeah.
Look at my car, man. It's getting rained on. So let's see. What does it say?
While it's expected, the surprising event is a rare case of a weather phenomenon known as ultra-localized rain. Not everyone's convinced that the video shows such a natural act. Official with the Indonesian Meteorology Agency, they expressed skepticism over the conclusion, describing it as very unlikely. They said the clouds known to produce ultra-localized rain are generally considered bigger than those shown in the video, and that the meteorologic conditions at the time of the event appear to preclude it. They're saying the footage could be
You think it's faked?
Yeah, I think
because I know in Florida, I would you have houses in Florida. For those you don't know, that you can have a rainstorm every day at 3:00, and it could be literally raining in the front yard, and you turn around and it's not raining in the backyard because of these isolated. What kind of clouds did they call them? I forget, but ultra localized rain. But we have that in Florida all the time, just because of the atmosphere and stuff. So. But they're larger areas, maybe the size of a small baseball field or something or even a small parking lot, but not on one car.
Yeah, I call this one a hoax.
Okay, hopefully we'll get an update on that as well. All right, guys, stick around. We got one more segment to get into, and we'll let you get back to what you got to do. Guess what, Dan? Your favorite restaurant's in the news again, and they've actually found out what's in the tuna. Stick around. We'll talk about that when we get back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. 9. As he chugs his water.
Oh. Time for a drink. Let me take a leak.
Okay.
Something like that. Input, output, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that looked fake to me.
I don't know, though, because... Oh, Dan, you all right?
Yeah, my cord cut my foot.
What do you got, that disease that the leg cramp lady has?
No, my... I'll have to talk to my Eric about that.
What, if he knows the girl?
Marlboro's a big thing. Not like Marshall, where everyone knows each other.
Right. Don't turn the invitation. Kick off your shoes and come on in. Oh, let's see. Little bit of that. Little bit of this. When we get done here, I want to go inside and check on the dogs. Yeah. They usually don't fight during the day. It's at night when we start feeding them. And they want to fight over the last morsels of food.
Maybe they're married.
Well, the thing is, they both have the same mom, just two different dads, because they had them artificially inseminated type deal. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Camera one. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We broadcast from the COVIDSapien.com studios. Don't blame the Democrats or the Republicans. Trump or Biden blame the actual culprit of this widespread virus. For more information, check them out over at COVIDSapien.com for more information. And over to my far right-hand side is IT Dan.
Yes, it's a great afternoon.
If you want to be heard, everyone wants to be heard, go over to ProfitRadio.com, click on the Be Heard section. There's a little blue bar that kind of floats around your page there. Click on that, opens up a microphone. You can leave a voice message, comes right here to the studio, and we'll play on the very next podcast. If you have any questions, IT questions for Dan as well, he'll be happy to answer them during that time as well. And also, if you want some free stuff, everyone wants free stuff as well. Pick you up some stickers, some magnets and stuff. Just fill out the little form there, and we'll send them right out to you. Unfortunately, we just sent out the stuff that goes over to Europe across seas. We do that once a month. We like to collect all of them and send them out. So those overseas listening to us, you should be getting that stuff as well. Dan, it wasn't that much this time. I think everyone's waiting until the holidays.
It wasn't too bad, but I want to say I'm enjoying the comments, and I've got a few people have asked some technical questions, which were good questions. I was able to help them out.
Well, good. And I know sometimes people want the free stuff closer to Christmas time, so be careful. Those numbers are going to jump up as far as sending out the magnets and the stickers and stuff. All right. Now, Dan, we have, let's figure out where I'm going here. Oh, so I'm on the Mediterranean diet, as you know. And part of the Mediterranean diet, it says eat fruits, nuts, stuff that's in the Mediterranean areas, foods that you would find in there. and fish, a little bit of chicken. Try to stay away from red meat or processed meats. But I like it because it says you can have it, just not a whole lot of it. So like I made a cold cut sandwich the other night, and I haven't had a cold cut sandwich in probably weeks since then. You know what I mean? So it's all in moderation. I have Greek yogurt in the morning, covered with like pineapples and stuff. At night, I've been doing the Progresso soups because I'm too lazy to cook fish at night, which are the 160 calorie Progresso soups. And I kind of doctor it up. Or my father-in-law used to say, guinea it up.
Yeah, I call that a processed food, though. Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's only 160 calories. So, I mean, process
read the ingredients.
I don't want to. I'm just looking at the calorie count. And one can usually does me good. And I have like some sourdough bread that I toast up. Now, this one lady right here, for whatever reason, oh, great. New York Times wants to be a little bitch about it. I'll just show you the story, and then I'll not make it up. I'll tell you what it actually was, because it wants me to log in for all this stuff. Does it matter if I eat the sticker on fruits and vegetables? Does it matter, Dan?
I've eaten like halfway through a sticker, or eaten them on an apple when I'm not paying attention, and I spit it out as well. It doesn't matter.
Well, they say that the stickers are somewhat biodegradable. Even if you throw them away, they're good for the environment. And with that being said, they technically, you can eat them, and other than if you've got, diverticulitis or something like that, it gets stuck in one of your little pockets.
I don't think that would happen.
That was the main question for the New York Times, where they wanted me to block. They want me to pay to read that article there, but I'm not paying. But that's the article that I was going to read. All right, now get on a more serious subject, Dan. When's the last time you did cocaine?
I've never done cocaine.
You've never done cocaine?
No.
Want me to show you my impression of me doing cocaine for the first time?
Yes.
I walk into my living room. I got some friends of mine, and they put their powder down on the table. I'm like, hey, I'm ignorant as far as what's going on. I mean, early 20s. And I go, what are you guys doing? We're doing a little cocaine. You want to try some? Oh, all right. And I take I lick my finger and I touch the powder, and then I go back and you ever seen it in the movies where they just stick it on your tongue? Yeah. I put it on my tongue and I went, oh God, my whole entire mouth and tongue went numb instantly. And I said, fuck that. I am not putting that in my nose. There's no way I'm going to do this. Pass me another beer type stuff.
Yeah, I am someone who did not take drugs, except acid.
Well, that's a drug.
Yeah, I know. But
a massive cocaine shipment was spoiled because they were hidden in frozen onion rings.
That's disgusting. Frozen onion rings are just awful. Yeah.
Take it away.
Yeah, drug dealers seem to have an affinity for smuggling their wares in food. I guess they've also tried smuggling drugs in everything. And in the past couple of years, I've covered fentanyl being smuggled in breakfast burritos, delicious but deadly, cocaine stashed in individual coffee beans, and more of the powder being moved on frosted cornflakes. So it's crazy. And I mean, it's cat and mouse. The cartel tries to find a new way to do it, and the police trying to find a way to catch them and stuff.
I don't mind them legalizing it because I think everyone as an adult has a responsibility of being an adult. So if you legalize drugs...
We should just tax it. Tax it and we'll just make the money. But you're not going to stop it. So.
But the problem is there's so much undercover stuff and I say undercover, behind closed doors, the government. Yeah. Ronald Reagan brought crack into the poor communities to keep those people under control, or let them kill each other off. I mean, there's a whole conspiracy about all this stuff. But I say, they're doing well in Amsterdam with a lot of this stuff, and they're not broke. I mean, they have less freedoms than we do, but for the most part. So yeah. UK France found 418 kilos of cocaine hidden amongst the covered frozen onion rings. Authority estimated that the drug is worth the street value of $44 million. The driver has since been charged with smuggling a Class A thing. So here it is. So it's the frozen bags of whatever, your Hillshire Farms or something, the onion rings in a frozen bag, and then it's not even really hidden. It's just at the bottom of the box with the onion rings on top. So
you did say he was Polish, remember that?
Oh, yeah. So who knows what happened there. Now, McDonald's has an order that came in, and this video is going viral. Someone spent $7,000 at McDonald's. I didn't think you could spend that $7,000 at McDonald's.
Well, I can see if you smoked a lot of dope and you got the munchies, that would do it. $7,000. Well, I mean, their burgers, you can get some of the burgers are $6-7 now.
Yeah. Well, that's the meat crisis and stuff. A McDonald's employee in Perry, Georgia, has gone viral after sharing a video of what $7,000 to-go order looks like. So we'll play the video here in just one sec. No lie, girl. Yo girl's tired last week, she quotes. In the video, Curtis, Britanna E. Curtis, whatever her name, fucking weird names, showing a look of aspiration, reveals the Perry McDonald's receiving an order of 1,600 chicken McNugget sandwiches, 1,600 double cheeseburgers, 3,200 cookies, and it needed to be ready within 4 hours. The video shows dozens and dozens of boxes of the food items, and she's like, well, what happened? So let's watch the video here. Oops, let me hit play. Put me on 4, Dan.
You're on 4.
So here we go. Here's the video. I don't want to see that. No, thank you. We've seen that too much already.
Not enough.
I know. So here's the video. Let's see if there's sound.
1,600 McTickets, 1,600 McDoubles, and 3,200 cookies in 4 hours.
So here it is. Look at them. They're all in just boxes. No bags, just boxes. You see them all? They use basically their supply boxes to fill them all up. So you're saying to yourself, well, who the hell ordered $7,000 worth of stuff? Right here, Dan.
Yeah, Curtis said the prison paid for the items before they're prepared by the McDonald's employees and had placed large orders at the restaurant previously, but typically calls ahead of time. We do business with them a lot. Curtis said they're very credible. We've never such short notice before, but I don't understand how. If you cook them, how warm are they going to be? Then they weren't in any.
So let's say it's this. Yeah. So a prison bought $7,000 worth of this McDonald's food. So what I say, 1,600 of the double cheeseburgers, 1,600 of the
McChickens,
and then 3,200 of whatever else, right? So maybe it's like high school. And now I know in high school I had pizza day. Friday was pizza day. Everyone loved pizza day. They buy the little squares. They were 6 inches. Am I boring you, Dan? 6 inches by 8 inches. Everyone loved pizza day. Maybe at this prison, if everyone behaves, if no one dies, don't kill anyone, everyone goes to bed in time and does all your daily duties and stuff, we'll have McDonald's Day. Yeah, and then, she says they've done it before where they've, the prison has said, okay, we need this kind of stuff. And for the next day. So they have time to do all that stuff. But now they're saying that this order, the only reason why it went viral is because they needed it within 4 hours.
Yeah, but I mean, I can just see the line behind everybody in the drive-thru. But the problem is, I go to McDonald's 10 minutes from my house. I can get a sandwich there. When I go there, it's just barely warm enough. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I can just, you're going to have to heat them all in the microwave.
Well, no. I think they would have a double boiler pan, those double boiler pans. When you see like a buffet line, they always have the big tin pans and the least scooping it out and slopping it on your thing. They might have the burgers resting in those double boiler pans. That's the way.
They're in the boxes now for 4 or 5 hours, so they're maybe reheated.
Dan, did you forget who ordered the hamburgers?
Yeah, the prisoners.
The prisoners. So, I mean, be happy with what you get, right?
Yeah, I know.
Don't kill anyone. You'll get a McDouble flurry or something. All right, Dan, my favorite restaurant and your favorite restaurant's back in the news again. They have determined that the Subway tuna now contains... I'm pausing for dramatic effect. The meat now contains chicken, pork, and cattle DNA. So, a plaintiff seeks unspecified damage for the fraud violations in California consumer product law. So what happened was someone brought this lawsuit up saying that it's not real tuna, that misrepresented its tuna products to the customers. Lab testing revealed that the franchise 100% tuna actually contains animal proteins, including pork, and cattle DNA. Right there.
Yeah, a marine biologist tested 20 tuna samples taken from 20 Subway restaurants in Southern California, finding that 19 samples had no detectable tuna DNA sequences. All 20 contained detectable chicken DNA, 11 contained pork DNA, and 7 contained cattle DNA. And to me, if I have chicken salad or tuna salad, I'm tasting the mayonnaise anyway.
I know. Yeah. I mean, who cares? I mean, I would like a nice. I would do a chicken sandwich, with the mayonnaise and stuff, but don't call the chicken tuna. I know they call it chicken of the sea. Thank you, Jessica Simpson, on that one. But I mean, so I said this before, but in my opinion, when they first brought the story out, I thought they were just taking all the hodgepodge, the garbage fish. They had, you ever seen a tuna? It's as long as from me to you. I mean, it's huge. Take that one tuna, stamp on it with all the garbage fish that are caught in the net, and then relate that way. One tuna will last for 10,000 sandwiches rather than 5,000 sandwiches or something like that.
Yeah. So are we getting in on this?
No, I still don't I will not buy a tuna sandwich from a restaurant anyways. I won't do at a tuna unless it's like the ahi tuna. They bring out to you tuna sandwiches because you don't know. There's too much wiggle room for
no, and they can
bad
make it
diseases.
So easy to make it at home.
Yeah, I mean,
Kathy puts a little relish in there.
I can't do the relish though. I can't. I just don't for some reason. I like pickles on my sandwich, but relish is that bread and butter sweet pickle relish. I don't know. I'm sorry. All right, guys. On that note, we are going to let you guys get back to what you got to do. Let me go figure out all the cameras here so Dan can see himself. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on social contacts. You can see all where we're available at. Make sure you follow us on all your live streams as well. That's YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And on behalf of IT Dan, are you going to say something? You're just going to point.
No, point in.
We're leaving, Dan.
It's been a pleasure. Everyone have a nice night.
All right. My name's the Deacon saying good night and good night. Not yet. Don't point yet. You're so excited. I give you too many things and you blew it. All right, there we go. Bye. See ya. All right, there you go. Thanks, guys, for watching.